Hi, welcome to the Bloom Show. This is Saeed, your guest, your host. But today I'm kind of not your host, and I'll explain that to you in a second. But this is Saeed with Above All Flowers and New Bloom Solutions. This show is brought to you by Above All Flowers and New Bloom Solutions. And the Bloom Show is by the floral community for the floral community. We truly ask you to chime in, ask questions, give shout outs. You're going to see some fun people today that I'm pretty sure you recognize and you have great relationships with. So give a shout out because we all love giving a shout out and feeling inspired. I can't hear anything someone's saying, but I think it's all working now. But again, thank you so much for being here on the show. Again, the purpose is really to connect the flower community together to experts, but in a real casual, lighthearted way. So we get to know each other and as well get to know and learn from other experts as well, innovators as we have today. So without further ado, who do we have on the show? Today we have the Flower Clique. And why did we ask the Flower Clique on? Because if you've met Vonda Lafever, the CEO, Ellie Lafever, the creative director, or Lori Wilson, the director of community, which AKA director of fun, I call her. They're so much fun. They have such great energy and they truly bring passion to the flower industry. They will be the guest host today. That's why today I'm not the host, but they will be the guest host today. And then we also have their guest is Amy Desperito, director of pre-made bouquets at Natural Flowers. This show was only made possible by sponsors like Chrysler. So we're really excited to have Chrysler as a sponsor and as a collaborator to this show, and we truly appreciate them and thank you. So just to give you a little feedback, a little information on the Flower Clique, the Flower Clique empowers florists and business owners with tools and services to simplify and elevate their business. That's why they're innovators. One day I want to have all three of them on to share what they do, because what they do is a service-driven business, and it's amazing. Service-driven and community-based business, you could say, and I hope I'm not saying it wrong, but it's an amazing company that they've established in kind of a niche within the flower industry. So we're super excited to have them. And then their great friend, Amy Desperito. So without further ado, I'm going to allow them to take over the show. So again, thank you to them and thank you to you for being here. And give me a second as I pull out the interview.
Hey, everyone.
Hi, gals.
How's it going?
It's going. Hi, Amy. Oh, is Amy frozen?
Hey, Amy. How's it going?
Everything was perfect earlier.
Well, we have Amy, who is traveling today and is joining us from the airport. So if she gets a little glitchy, it's not because she doesn't want to be here. It's because the airport's not cooperating with her today. So can we hear you now, Amy?
She said she can't hear anything.
Oh, it's all right.
Oh, maybe she's going to log in, log back out.
Well,
while she is doing that, thank goodness we know Amy very well. So let's talk about her. She works for Natural Farms. How did we meet Amy, Vonda?
We met Amy through Bill Doran Company, through Bill Lafever. He connected us because we were looking for someone who would really help us grow our supply and demand business, right? So the bouquet business, and Natural Farms has been amazing to help us do that. But also, I think it's important to know that Amy, besides her day job at Natural Flowers, she's really active in the industry. And that's why we wanted her on here today, because she attends so many shows. We've had the privilege of meeting her at SAF and
a Profit Blast,
right?
Yeah, I think that was the first time that I met her face to face.
We've also done things. And we've also, like, when we were just in Miami, we went to a breathwork class with her, and so she's awesome. She's really great.
Yeah.
Hi, Nicole. Thanks for joining
Nicole.
us.
Hello, Nicole. We're going to see Nicole next week.
I know, so many. so many at SAF. I'm trying to see if Amy's send me a text to see what's going on because she's like got bumped out, it looks like.
I'm wondering if she could even just call in audio.
Could. Let me just send her a little text. You girls chat a minute.
Okay, let's chat, Lori.
Now we can't hear you, Saheed. Are you on mute?
I'm good to go. So live shows usually have, twists and turns. So, but it's always fun. So ladies, you are in charge of the show, right? So here we go.
There she
All
is.
right. Let's see if we can hear her.
Okay, can you hear me now?
There we have you. Woo-hoo. There we go.
All right, well, thanks for all the nice things you said about me. I don't know if I can fill all those shoes.
Well, we're glad you heard them. We would just hate to waste all those words.
I heard some. I didn't hear any of what Saeed said at the beginning. I couldn't hear anything, and I kept writing. I can't hear anything. I don't know if that makes a difference. Anyway, I'm at the airport. I am on my way to Virginia to see a buyer of a supermarket chain. And we're going to do a little design show for Valentine's, Spring, Easter. And it's one of the things I do a lot of. And it's one of the things I love about my job. Just the creation of new designs and making people happy. And like you guys know very well, it's not always what you like that sells or other people like. So you just have to keep it moving, keep it going.
Trying to figure out what the consumer likes, right?
Well, the consumer doesn't always know what they like, but the thing that I always tell people is if it jumps out at you and it's saying, pick me, you did your job right.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
I love that.
And that's true for a website. That's true for a show floor. That's true for a buyer. That's true for just about anything we do. The outfit that's designed. I mean, we design a lot of things that are not necessarily trending, but fashion, paint colors, all those things make our life what we do. Somebody said to me at a show I was doing last week, ooh, big announcement happening. Oh no, in my area, they'll only buy white and green. I said, oh, well, that's sad. I guess everyone has like a white house, so they don't want any other colors. Maybe you should just do monochromatic stuff. So if they want a different color, at least it would be just introducing one color instead of multicolored. And things like that, sometimes people don't really even think about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How long have you been at Natural?
Natural Flowers is graced with my presence for about 33 years now.
Wow.
And
you're not even
before
that old.
that,
I don't get it.
And you're 35 years old? Wow.
yeah, I've been doing this a long time. Before that, I was in Canada. I worked with Sierra Flower Trading. I opened my own company shortly after that in Montreal. So I've been in this business for a good long time.
Yeah.
I just love what I do now. I love working for a farm. And I'm going to get to treat you guys and take you to my beautiful farm. But I love that part of the business, the growing part, the natural part, the people part. It's very different than what a lot of people get to see. So I'm very excited to be able to show you guys that.
You seem to have a great team, right? Everybody who works at the farm that we've had common communication with, Audrey and I and you, and it's just amazing. I think it's just great people.
Well, I talk about a lot of times like, oh, I need more people in the office, but my people are really at the farm, and that's where they need to be. And when I think about the work that I do, I have to think about everything going back to the farm because the profit isn't for the office in Miami or the desk or the chair. It's really for the farm and the regeneration of the farm and the things that we want to grow and do there. And I don't just mean grow flowers. Obviously, we grow a lot of flowers, but grow as people and staff. I used to have one girl that entered orders. Now there's 5. So it transforms itself. We just got a new buyer because we not only grow, we buy flowers from other farms to complete the bouquets. So we just got another buyer, and she's learning, and she's wonderful, and she's young, and it's great. And she hasn't been through a holiday period yet, so let's hope she sticks around after that kind of stress. But you know, one of the questions that we were talking about is, you know, what's a regular week versus what's a holiday, and you're talking about 6 times more at a minimum.
So on an everyday
even
basis,
you think about,
so everyday basis, you do X amount, and then you 6 times that during the couple weeks before Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, even at Christmas, I suppose.
yeah. So Valentine's and Mother's Day, it'll be a longer span, but Christmas, Thanksgiving, you always have that crunch period where the demand is more excessive, and I think that you guys are seeing that with Flower Clique as well. You have your regular weeks, and then you get to the holiday, and obviously FedEx asks us every single year, what are your projections?
Yeah.
And what do you guess? You know, what do you guess? And it is a guess, but you kind of want to guess close to it, or there's no space for you, type of thing. And those issues are real. So people, space, freight space, flight space, flowers, enough flowers, all those things, you know, make the juggle more exciting, more fun.
Something new every day.
Well, I know on a personal basis, when we started from zero, right, bouquets, I felt that Flower Clique was blessed with your presence because of all your experience. Because I knew nothing of what I was doing. And Amy's like, almost you were like holding my hand and taking me, okay, this is what we need to do. This is what we need to do. And that first Mother's Day, I mean, you made it happen. It was like, let's just do this. And
well, you know, it's baby steps for everything. You know, even as a parent, and you are one, sometimes your kids follow along, and sometimes you got to drag them through the mud. And that was like one of those drag you through the mud phases. And you're gonna get dirty, and you'll be okay when you get through it.
That's right.
And I think that's what's great about my people at the farm. We really buckle down and work together during those times. So there's always that time that the person has the breakdown. There's always that time that the person says, there's no way out. I'm buried. I can't get out of this. There's always that time where the efficiency of the people manufacturing dies. And you have to kind of pick up those pieces sometimes and pick up those people. And I always say there's always a surprise. There's always something that I learned that even after all these years that I've never had to experience before. And you roll with it and you make it happen. And one of the things that gives me a lot of confidence is they do have such a supportive farm. We've never not shipped an order. We've never not made it okay for the customer. It might have been tweaked. It might have been a little different. It might have been there a day late, but we've always made it happen. And I give a lot of that to my boss because that's kind of his MO. And he taught me that it's not the right thing, you know, and he would say to me, it's my word. My word was, I confirm this order, and nothing's stronger than your word, Amy. So if you said yes, we have to make it happen.
And we can attest to that you guys do make it happen.
Yeah, we've had a lot of hurdles, right? And you've always made it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's like learning experiences, you know, and let's face it, a lot of your customers are new to your program as well. So they always have a learning curve.
Yeah.
So we're teaching, we're experiencing, we're helping, we're guardian angeling sometimes, you know, we're holding hands. And I think your staff has done a great job of that. When I've been on groups and meetings with you and when you've done live stuff, I think that really Flower Clique as a whole, one of the positive incentives is that you're really helping people get through the process of being a florist and trying to make it easier, because we've all had labor issues and COVID issues, and we still have labor issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's not gone away yet. So how many different wholesalers or suppliers do you work with?
Oh, I tried to start to count, and then I got all bogged down by oh, but that's not a wholesaler, so I don't even call you guys a wholesaler really, because
Yeah.
you farm direct ship. So I do farm direct ship for certain customers. I bring flowers into Miami for certain supermarket chains. I sell to wholesalers all across the United States, and not even all of them, but most of them. And then there's also things that we do like 1-800-Flowers and FTD procurement. So it's completely different than any of those things. And it's all exciting. And one of the things I've been saying lately is that I'm very excited that after this long in this industry, I can still be very excited about going to work, and a lot of new things have come up. I think Flower Clique is a new thing. I just launched 10 wedding lines for 50 flowers. And things like that are just so exciting and so different. And going to a design show like I'm doing right now with a new buyer is exciting too. So it's very fun to meet new people and see what they're doing in the industry and what's making them excited.
Do you find when you're working with new buyers, like you're going to now, that the excitement that you feel is when the light bulb goes off on their head and it goes, oh, I get it? Because that's got to be a challenge for someone coming in and not doing it before, and they're not really knowing what they're doing.
I think, and everybody's different. One of the questions you guys wanted to know, what inspires you to design something new? It could be, I only sell $14.99 bunches. How much can you come up with for $14.99? And there's other people that are $9.99. I mean, there's just so many different flowers you can put in a 6-stem bouquet, but you just got to keep at it. You just got to keep going. And yes, I think when you make somebody happy, and when that spark goes off, you go, okay, I hit that. Let me try to do it for Christmas. I got it for fall. Let's see if we can transform this and make it Christmas.
Yeah.
And everybody's different, guys. Could be glitter, could be, and then it's an age differential a lot of times. If I'm in a show with a millennial Gen Z and I have something tinted with glitter, iridescent glitter on it, the whole world is excited. And then if you're 90, you just might want a hot pink mini carnation because that's what you remember and it lasted a long time. So you just have to make everybody happy, I guess. That's part of really what we do. It's just make people happy, and all those got a good flower feeling, all those wonderful things we have going on for our industry right now is super because it helps us continue to do the good work we've been doing, because really that's what we want to do, make people happy.
Right. So let's switch gears a minute and talk about sustainability. That's the big buzzword.
That's a big topic for me. Yeah, that's a really big topic for me. This plane is outloading, so I'm going to move. It's soon to get crowded in my area.
They want to hear you. They want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I guess. Sustainability for me is super important because I look at it as not so much just a plant. I look at it as the farm as a whole, the people we have working there, the people we have working in Miami, the industry as a whole. How are you doing, or how are you supporting all the elements of making this continue, making this profitable, making this worthwhile to go to work every day? And I always go back and start with the people. And I think that Vonda and Ellie, when you go to the farm, you're going to experience the pride that the people at the farm have, whether they're cutting roses or making bouquets or the guard that's opening the door to everyone coming in. They are proud of what they do. They are very, very proud people. And when you take their picture and when you ask them a question, they are very happy that you are involved with what they're doing. So the people to me are very important. What do we do for our people? On a normal time, there's an 8-hour shift. During that 8-hour shift, they have 2 breaks, they have lunch. Not anything abnormal than what we would have here, but nobody is allowed to work more than 2 hours of overtime. And you'll see this start to happen when you get to the holidays. So we have shift work. So we're open 24 hours, but the same people can't stay for those 24 hours. Now, everybody gets overtime pay when they do work overtime, but they're bused to the farm, they're bused out of the farm. If they have young children and they have no one to take care of their children, we have a school at the farm, we have a health program at the farm, we have an infirmary. I think everyone at the farm got free COVID shots. We administered them at the farm, so nobody had to worry or stand in line or go anywhere else or take a day off of work. The food is it's kind of a funny thing because the people vote on the chefs and whether they like the food or not. So they're able to vote. Lunch is very important.
That's important.
Right? But
yes.
yeah, I mean, if the food is terrible, then,
Exactly.
you don't want to go there. So
No.
they're able to vote on the food and say, yes, we want to keep these chefs. No, we don't want them. So they're involved in choosing. We also have teams that that take care of rose beds or alstro beds or status beds. So there's a supervisor, and then they have a team of people that they work with. And we have genuine competitions for manufacturing or for profitability. How many roses come out of your bed that are super graded? And it's all on a board, and there's ends of competitions, not necessarily Valentine's Day, but we'll do it on a monthly basis. We have soccer teams and we play like intramurals with other farms. It's big competition. That's like after work some days. It's a really vibrant place to be. And on top of that, we have people that really work hard and want to work hard and are, again, just so proud of what they're manufacturing. Which you go and see like the sample area. So there's a team of people that are in charge of making samples. And when those samples become actual items that sell, they get a gold star because they did such a good job on that sample.
Wow.
And we have to always remember to go back and appreciate those little things. Your sample was so great. You did such a good job tinting that rose that everybody wants them now.
Yeah.
So those kind of
Building
things
into them.
they're really important. Yeah.
Mhm.
So the people. Now, one of the things that's really important is the people that surround our farm and the little towns that surround our farm. So we have a lake on our farm. We feed the towns around us with clean water. It's something that we've done for years. And when my boss's family bought the farm, they didn't even know they had all that water, but they dug for gravel and found all this water. So we have clean water that goes to all the villages. Children come and we replant trees because of things that we do. We have little show and tells and kids participate in stuff that goes on at the farm on the weekends. One of their favorite things to do is my boss has a birthday party for himself, and they get like a bounce house and the slide and everything, and everyone gets to participate. He's not even there, but anyway, they call it his birthday party, right?
Oh,
Wow.
So that's wonderful. So it's very people oriented. It's very town oriented. We are in the Savannah of Bogota, which is where a lot of farms are, in a town called Subacoche. So a lot of our workers come from all the little towns that surround the farm. And that's really important too, because they have easy access to home. They have, again, the transportation back and forth. So we want to make it very accessible to people.
Wow.
As far as sustainability in our world and our environment, we recycle. We have separate pockets for recycling. We compost. We do replant trees all the time. and we have cows on our farm as well. So we have a lot of natural manure,
Mhm.
trying not to use pesticides. So natural kind of environmentally safe things. Yeah, very conscientious about that.
That's great.
Unfortunately, and one of my biggest pet peeves in life is the plastic. So you need plastic to cover a greenhouse. You need plastic to ship a bouquet. You need plastic to tie a box. And those things, unfortunately, I don't see completely going away for a very long time because we really don't have anything to replace them. Even in supermarket bouquet world, where we're using things like corn and stone to make sleeves, the wraps on the bouquets, it's not necessarily taking off as fast as we expected it to take off. So, those things are tenuous, but we keep working at it.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. So, okay. So I have two questions, and I feel like it's okay if you want to say, well, I've already answered those, because you might have already given those answers, but maybe not. You may have a different answer. So my first question is, because you have been in the industry for 33 years, because you started when you're 2 years old, what things are there things that you seem to focus on more now, in like maybe the last couple of years of your job, and you really didn't focus on this type of thing maybe 20 years ago? Your answer is, it's okay if you're like, yeah, sustainability. But is it something else other than sustainability?
Well, I think when I start, sustainability obviously is super important, but that also is a word that's being used over the last 10, 15
Right.
years, not necessarily 30 years ago. So it's not like we didn't care about those things. We just weren't really focusing on them. But I really think that my biggest difference from when I started in this business to what I do now, because I work for a farm, is to sell what my farm grows. Because the health of my farm is going to be selling the beautiful flowers that they grow. And sometimes that means red roses in July, Christmas in July. Sometimes that means white flowers all year long, not just at wedding season.
Yeah.
And those things are really, really important to be able to use them. I had somebody that trained me in this business, and he would say things like, "What's wrong with pink alstroemeria at Christmas time? What's wrong with people? It's still pretty, but nobody
Right.
wants it." So,
Right.
what I think, Lori, that's why a lot of the tinting has come up. A lot of the initial airbrushing and tinting, so that we can use flowers that don't normally get to be used.
Yeah.
And you see things all over the place. And I say this to people, if you open a website, you'll see, they like, I don't know, free spirit roses. So they use free spirit roses in everything in the fall. Well, there's just not enough free spirit roses for everything. So you have to start thinking about what else is going to work to make your design phenomenal when we don't have production to cover 6 times as much. Because from the time that you propagate a plant to the time it yields and tracks the demand, the trend starts to take off. I mean, you could cafe colored roses for weddings.
Right.
It's not that it's gone, but it's not as big as it was 4 years ago.
Right.
We experienced the free spirit thing, I think, a year or two ago. I think you were talking directly to us when you were talking about the free spirit.
Well, I just know Vonda likes free spirit and I like free spirit. So I tend to use it a lot as well.
Yeah.
But I have companies that use in all their designs for fall bicolor yellow roses.
Right. Yeah.
Well, okay, it's really nice in fall, but how many times do you put that in your house on a regular basis? Yellow rose with a red edge.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Right.
And then my next one isn't necessarily a question. It's more of just a comment, which we'll kind of wrap up, and then she can come back on. In everything you said, and I'm writing down all of these notes, and buzzwords that you didn't even know you said, but it made my heart so happy, because when you're talking about your employees, you're talking about the farm employees, you're even talking about Flower Clique members. You have such an awareness of your customer, your employees, the farm people. You talk about relationship, the importance of relationship in your conversation with them, and it gets me very emotional, because it's so much what we are about too. When you're talking about going to the farm and everything you guys do to build into the people, I was not even remotely envious of Vonda and Ellie going with you on this trip until this moment, because I just want to go play soccer with those kids, and I want to go on the jumpy bounce house with them, and I want to go do all of these things with them, because just building in with them and having relationship with them, that is my heartbeat. And I just love that you do that, and that you give gold stars, and that you reward them, because everything you're talking about is what I believe we, Flower Clique, we try to emulate, and we try to teach or model for our members to model for their employees. So I don't even know if you realized all that you said, but you said a lot here that just made me so incredibly happy, Amy. So thank you for all.
Thank you.
And there's times that I think we think about, okay, we have to have another design show, we have to do something else, and maybe it's your people that are going to come back to you and say, we really need in our assortment.
Right.
I always find a void for in our assortment. So maybe that's a challenge that comes up for us in the near future, that we put it out to your customers and say, have some fun, send us some of your images,
Yeah.
have a little contest, things like that.
Yeah.
And I think that that's very exciting.
Yeah.
I know at farm level, when I tell them, I'm not going to tell you exactly what to do, use your imagination, surprise me.
Yeah.
It's very nerve-wracking for them, very, very nerve-wracking. And I'll send some pictures. And so I get like the deadpan, and I'll send some pictures. These are some of ideas I'm having. I did a Barbie booth at a show last year, so I wanted things glittery and hot pink and gold, and so I sent some pictures. They came up with amazing things, spectacular things, that it was just kind of fun for them to just not do exactly what I told them to do.
Yeah.
And that makes me really happy too, because I like them to be creative. It's hard to make 5,000 of the same thing, even though it makes things easier.
Right.
It's kind of boring.
Exactly. So,
Well, we know you have to catch your flight, so we appreciate you being here with us. We will see you next week at SAF.
yes.
Yes.
See you in a few
I see
days.
all of you guys at SAF, right?
Yes.
So that's next
Yes.
week. I will be
Yep.
there on Tuesday. And let's
Perfect.
continue
So
all
will
our
we-
great conversations.
Yes.
That sounds great. Sahid, so it's up to you. You want to wrap this up?
Back to Sahid. Were we supposed to chat him? I can't remember. Hi, Monica
Hey,
from Columbia.
that's
Hi,
great.
Mimi.
Hi, Mimi.
So Mr. Happy Hour.
This is you at happy hour.
Whoops, you're muted.
I'm having the mute accident today. I'm just not good at unmuting. But ladies, thank you again. You're always awesome. I love I love how you were writing questions. That is so cool, and writing
Like
notes.
that.
We're still live, by the way. So
Mhm.
I wanted to chime in and have a little fun. If you have a couple seconds, you have a couple more minutes for me.
Sure.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna ask a couple questions, but it's gonna be
All right.
it's interesting because I'm gonna ask somebody a question about you. So, Lori, what is Vonda's favorite color?
Purple.
Nice. All right. Ellie, what is Vonda's favorite vacation spot?
Cabo.
Vonda, what is Lori's favorite band?
Favorite what?
Band. That's the fun part. Guess,
Nope.
just guess. Throw a guess and we'll see how close you are.
Her favorite bag?
Band.
Band.
Band, musical band.
Band. Oh, I thought you meant, I don't know, Lori. Sorry.
All right, let's ask, because I know, Miss Ellie's a fashionista. So Vonda, what is Ellie's favorite brand, fashion
Ooh,
brand?
she's got a lot.
I
She
know.
likes a good Louis Vuitton would be a really good one. That would
All
be
right.
one of her faves.
Fine. Gucci is also good.
Gucci, yeah.
Gucci. All right. So Ellie, let's have a little fun. Ask Lori a question about Vonda, because you know her better.
What is Vonda's favorite thing to do for fun?
Lori?
Work.
All right. Most of us on this call, right?
Fair.
Am I wrong? No.
No, you're not. You're not, Lori. Nope.
What is she doing? Is she thinking?
I think work.
That's it. True.
Design flowers.
Developing something, making
Create
somebody else happy.
something, hang out with us.
Oh, I got a question. So, Ellie, what was Vonda's first job?
Vonda's first job was a flower shop at 14.
14
She never
years
left.
old.
She never
Wow.
left.
Do you know the name of that flower shop?
Yeah, I worked there too in college. Everett's
There you go.
Flowers,
Flowers.
Iowa.
Cool. That is cool. So I hope you had a little fun with that. I thought that
That was
would just
fun.
be.
I liked that.
That was just be real quick. It was kind of just thought about it off the top of my head. But ladies, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for coming on. I hope you truly enjoyed it. And it's always inspiring to see the three of you, the energy you give out, the laughter and happiness, and you really add value to the flower industry and most importantly to your community and to the community within the flower industry. So again, thank you so much for doing this.
And we will see you at Pro Flora, right?
And SAF. I'll be in SAF. So,
We'll see you
Yeah,
next
so-
week.
Good.
so I'll
Thank
see
you
you
so
next
much.
week. And
Thank you so
you.
much for asking
To
us.
be the guest host. We had a lot of fun today.
Yes.
David.
That's awesome. And that's the intention, for you to have fun. And I hope that next year I can invite you on as the three of you to really have some fun and ask some questions and some goofball questions as well. So I think
For
it'll
sure.
be a lot. Thank you again for your time. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. So everyone, as always, it was awesome. The end of it was a lot of fun for me. It was kind of on the fly, but it was a lot of fun to do. These ladies are truly an inspiration. We hope that they're also an inspiration to other women in our industry, which is very important as well, because it all starts with an idea. Right. So it all starts with an idea, inspiration, and then the intention and passion to try to change something or improve something within our industry. And that's what the Flower Clique has done. And you can see that the passion that Amy has as well, talking about her company and what she does. Again, we do want to thank, obviously, the guest hostess that were here today, the Flower Clique. And we do want to thank Amy as well for being on the show. But we do also want to thank our sponsors today, which were Chrysal. So we're very thankful for having Chrysal on as our sponsor. And here's a little bit about them. They do flower foods, but they're just innovators, right? And very good at marketing and very good at understanding the needs of the flower industry. We do also want to say that on September 12th, the Bloom Show with Lane DeVries, we will be talking ilex berries. So he's super excited about it and he wanted to come on the show. So I said, why not? Let's talk about ilex berries. And there again comes passion, right? So he truly has the passion to talk about ilex berries. And I think that it is a great topic as well, and to learn and understand a little bit more about him. So again, thank you to everybody for being here today. We truly appreciate your time. Truly appreciate you chiming in and your support. So if you like the show, please subscribe, press the little alert key, and or comment. It's always great to have your comments. And if you ever want to share how we could improve this show, please do. You could send us an email at connect@newbloomsolutions.com. And if you ever want to be a part of the show or a sponsor or anything, please reach out. You'll see me at a show, pull me aside, and I'd love to have you on the show because it is for the floral community. Bye. Oh, there we go. We'll do it again. For the floral community, by the floral community. Thank you for your time.